Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel and today's video. So today is our 50th, this is 50th Will I Buy It episode, and it's our last one for this year. Pretty amazing actually. So I do these videos every single week. I do them on Thursdays, which is today. This is inspired by Samantha March, and she also has a community playlist that I will link down below, and I will of course link Samantha's channel, and I will of course leave Trend Mood and Indie Makeup Spotlight that I always follow on Instagram, so I'll leave their pages down below. It's from those Instagram accounts that I know which makeup is new and everything. They kind of update you, so I don't go and check every single brand in case you were thinking that. But let's just hop into our first thing that I wanted to talk about. By the way, I did film this look. It's gonna come next year, I think, so just stay tuned for that. It's very neutral for me. I tried out some new makeup products from Linda Hallberg or Linda Hallberg. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is actually ColourPop. So I did get a message from one of you guys that said, I wonder if green is gonna be the new color for next year, because this year we have had a lot of neutral palettes coming out with a pop of blue. And she said maybe this will be with a pop of green instead. And I was like, yeah, okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I went to ColourPop's Instagram to check. Couldn't find anything, so I searched and I found that they had a YouTube channel. I did save some pictures just to screenshot them in case they were changing it. So here you can see, this was with an episode with Jay Kissa, and I really hope that they are doing a collaboration with Jay Kissa. So they're, okay, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. They are coming out with a new collection with I Love Sarai, or I Love Sarai. They have collaborated with her before, so they have collaborated with her 2 times before. This is the 3rd collection that they are coming out with, and this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. But the thing is that if you're looking at this swatch picture, I'm only talking about the palette. They are coming up with some more things, but if we're only looking at this picture with the palette and then the swatch pictures, the 2 shades, I guess you know which ones I'm talking about, they are blue. But when I go and show you this picture, you can see that the shades are not in the same position that they were in the first picture, and then also that they swatch green, which you can see here. This one definitely swatched like a green in my opinion anyway, so I don't really know what happened there, but these are the pictures that Trend Mood has put out, so I guess that those are the ones that we need to follow. And this collection is, by the way, already available, so you can go ahead and purchase it in case you want to. I actually like this palette. I think that this palette is really pretty, but I don't think it's unique. I don't think it's unique for ColourPop. I don't think it's unique for, you know, I don't think it's revolutionary, but I do think it looks really beautiful. I definitely think that some of the shimmers looks so wet when swatched, so those are kind of the shades that's really drawing me in. I do also really love that deep dark purple that they have. It's almost like a black, but it's not really a black. So beautiful, absolutely amazing. So the eyeshadow palette will retail for $23, but they're also coming out with a lip bundle, and it seems to be an ultra glossy lip, an ultra matte lip, and no, 2 ultra matte lips. I don't like the ultra matte formula from ColourPop, so I wouldn't purchase them. You can purchase the PR bundle or the collection if in case you wanted to. I think I'm gonna skip this collection just because I am trying to really drag down everything that I'm purchasing, and I'm really trying to get around to the products that I do have. I have put out my throwback series once again, so this week I did a video with the Subculture palette from ABH that you can go ahead and follow if you want to, or check out if you want to, but I am just trying to tone it down a little bit. First, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. It's beautiful. I really want to get this, but then I was like, you know what, no, stop it. You have this, and I know that I will not reach for this that much, so I'm trying to tone it down and be a little bit better. You guys know I talk about Ellie all the time on my channel. I love Ellie. She doesn't have a channel or anything. She's one of you guys, and I talk to her almost every single day. She is an amazing woman, and she contacted me, and I don't remember exactly what she wrote, but she said something along the lines of like, I think that BH Cosmetics has something against Capricorns, and I was like, what? So I went to Trend Mood's Instagram and I couldn't find anything, and I was like, what are you talking about? So then I went to BH Cosmetics Instagram. So this is one of their new palettes. This is a mini zodiac palette, and they will do one for each zodiac sign. And this is for the Capricorn ones. And when I saw this the first time, I was like, why did they do 1 highlight shade and 8 taupe shades? They're the same. I do think that when looking at the swatch picture, yes, it looks a little bit different, but when looking at this picture, I think that everything almost looks the same. It seems to be in the same tones. I don't see how you could get that many different looks out of this. I'm not saying that it's wrong for them to do a neutral palette or a brown palette. Nothing wrong with that, because I still enjoy some neutral palettes, and I know that a lot of people does. You don't have to put in a green or a yellow or a, you know, you don't have to put in a lot of bright shades, but you could at least do some variations of this, because I feel like all of these shades will look the same. I don't see how anyone could do 3 looks 1 palette with this. And I don't see how this palette could work on someone that is just a tad darker than me. If you are of even a slight like light to medium complexion, I don't see how this would work for you. If you are my skin tone or fairer or just a tad darker, I see how it could work for you. But this was just not really good. I even put this up on my Instagram, and some of you guys were like, but they haven't put in the shades yet. It's like cardboard in the back. It's just a cardboard packaging. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, these are the shades. Look closer. I think that BH Cosmetics wins this year for the worst palette ever. There's nothing wrong with doing a brown palette or anything like that, but this is just the same shades. I do think that it's a fun idea, because I immediately in my head was like, oh my god, I wonder how they will do Pisces, because I'm a Pisces. Oh, I wonder how they will do that. Maybe they will incorporate some blues, or oh, maybe they will do something with the ocean, or like really beautiful like scale skin or something, you know. I think that everyone will start to think about their zodiac sign and be a little bit interested in the palette. And I think that BH Cosmetics will win on that, because I do believe that people will maybe want to purchase their zodiac sign palette. I think I want to, but to all of the Capricorns out there, I'm so sorry. So let's dive into high-end. I am not opposed to purchasing some stuff from Natasha Denona. I just have to say, I think that her gold palette, who would have thought, but her gold palette looks very, very yummy. And her highlights looks very, very yummy. But this is a new product from her. This is a Diamond and Glow. So it's like a highlight and blush topper, you could say, depending on how deep you are. But since the highlight is pretty fair, I do believe that this would be like a highlight topper for you. And I think, or a blush topper, I mean. And I think that this is so pretty. But I don't really know if I would like to purchase this just because it is as small as like an eyeshadow. And I actually don't think that her highlights are that expensive. We do have Natasha Denona in Sweden, and I'm so excited about that. I think that is amazing. And Natasha Denona in Sweden isn't that expensive. I do believe that since her brand is so expensive, they can't really jack up the price that much. I have talked about it before that I do believe in the US that the Natasha Denona palettes, the big ones, are $129, and in Sweden they are $133, I think, which is so, like, that is amazing. I do believe that the ABH palettes are $42 in the US, now $45, but $42, and I do believe that they are $63 here. That is, you know what I mean? Like, that is a lot, that is a big difference. So Natasha Denona's highlights aren't that expensive here, and that is sort of like what I paid for the Emrisi highlight. A little bit more expensive, but almost the same. But I purchased the Emrisi one with a discount code, so I got it a little bit cheaper. Anyway, this is gonna be available. This is already available. This will go available, or will be available when I'm recording this. I don't really see a price, but I will have the price in my description box. I think that this is super duper pretty, and if you don't want to purchase something big from her, I think it's amazing that she does minis. I know that not everyone likes minis, but I think it's great, especially when a high-end brand does it. I did want to talk a little bit about NYX. So a while back I talked about the fact that NYX were coming out with their I want to say Born to Run, but it's not. It's Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation that they did in collaboration with Alyssa Ashley. I do believe that Alyssa actually just helped them develop some deeper shades, which is great. Now they have also come out with a concealer. The concealer I am really into. I really want to try that, but now I actually saw that they are coming out with this. So this is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Loose Powder. They come in 6 different shades. It looks to be a great variation of powders, in my opinion anyway. It looks to be a great variation, like a good span. So they have 1 light, I would say 2 lights, 1 light, 2 mediums, 1 medium. It kind of depends on how deep you are. 2 deep and then 1 banana powder. We don't really know when they will be available, but they will come sometime pretty soon, and they will be $12. And then they're also coming out with this. This is the Born to Glow Illuminating Powder. They come in 4 shades and they retail for $15 each. They're also coming out with some jelly highlights, so these retail for $15 each. And then they're coming out with lip scrubs for $7 each. I think it's fun that NYX is kind of expanding on the foundation and making this into a collection, and that they are doing it without putting out like 1,000 and a zillion eyeshadow palettes. I think it's fun that they are doing something else and they're trying to do like a lip scrub that they haven't done before and so on. I think that that is really, really great, and I applaud NYX for that. So Natasha Denona is doing a mini of her mini nude palette, or a nude palette. So this is a little small palette. This is not gonna be the $48 palette. This is gonna be the $25 palette, which is like real teensy and real small. But I do think that it's a really good option for people that doesn't want to purchase a $129 palette and not really knowing if they're gonna like it or not. As I've said before, me that lives in Sweden, I cannot return makeup, so if I would purchase a Natasha Denona palette, I would be stuck with it. I think it's good that she's doing this because not everyone can return makeup. However, I wish that she would do it on the Tropic palette, maybe put in 1 or 2 nude shades and then some really bright blue shimmer shades, or some of the other palettes, or some of the other shades that she had in that palette. I really want her to do that. I would love it if she only released the top row, to be honest, but I get that she doesn't really want to do that, so that she would include like 2 nudes would be amazing, but this is just not it for me personally. So Ofra, I actually talked about this not that long ago, but Ofra collaborated with Francesca, which is a makeup artist. I cut that out of the video just because we didn't know anything. We just knew that they were collaborating, and Francesca wasn't someone that I heard that much about or that has been that raved about, so I actually cut that out of the video, and I thought that I would wait a little bit, but now we know more, and she has developed a new shade with Ofra, and I think that this looks stunning. This looks like that peach, a little bit of a pink undertone to it, like almost a little bit of the eyeshadow that I'm wearing today. It's this, I don't know if you can see it, but this eyeshadow right here has a little bit of a pink and peach shift to it. It's mostly peach, but it has a little bit of a pink shift to it. I think that the shade looks beautiful, but personally, I'm not a fan of peachy highlights, and I'm not gonna pick this up. But it is 1 new highlight, as you can see, but you can also see that they are 2 bronzers between them, so probably they are creating a palette, and I'm only interested in Ofra's highlights. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't want their palettes with bronzers and stuff. I just, no. So next up, I want to talk about Stila. They're coming out with some new liquid highlights, but then also a highlight. I mean liquid eyeshadows, and then 1 highlighter, as you can see right here. I think that the highlight looks so beautiful. It looks wet. It looks so nice, but I am a little bit iffy on it. I do want to try it because I think it looks so unique and it looks so cool. This would really add some value to my collection. This is not something that I have. It doesn't look like to be something that I have. So this is called Shade Mystere Highlighting Face Gloss, and it retails for $28, which I don't actually think is a lot. And then you also have some liquid eyeshadows, but I would like to see them swatched because I don't like. They have a little bit of that, a light shade down here, and then they have like another formula on top. It looks really strange. I would not purchase these before I could see a review on them if I could just say my 2 cents on it, but that is only because they look so strange. But they are retailing for $24 and they are already available. Sometimes I feel like Makeup Revolution is a little bit too slow. I'll get to that in a minute, but this is something that is new from them. This hasn't launched yet, but it will launch in a month. So this is some liquid eyeshadow, so you can get some glitter shine to it. I know that this is not the same, but just hear me out. So Huda Beauty came out with her 5 Obsessions palette, or whatever it's called. I usually don't talk about Huda Beauty because she is not cruelty free, and I only talk about the cruelty free makeup releases, but she came out with those. And after that, Makeup Revolution came out with their, you know, they kind of duped them a little bit. It looked like they had duped them, but apparently Makeup Revolution was actually first with the idea. Now, Huda Beauty launched them first. So obviously, Makeup Revolution usually dupes other brands. So it looked like they had duped them, but actually they hadn't. And now Huda Beauty came out with she came out with sort of the same kind of idea, but one was a glitter and then one was a matte that you could blend into the crease and so on. I know that they are not the same, but I thought it was a little bit funny, so I really wanted to talk about that. So I do want to talk a little bit about Urban Decay. Urban Decay is coming out with a new eyeshadow palette, and I feel so bad for Urban Decay because I think that they have totally lost it. I don't think that they know what they're doing, and okay. This is the new eyeshadow palette. This is something that they will come out with 2019. It looks to be a Naked Reloaded palette. And the thing that I don't really get is that I actually was debating on if I should purchase the Naked Cherry palette or not, because I love my purples and I thought that it could be fun to try out a Urban Decay palette because I don't really do that a lot. But then I saw Make Up Your Mind, which is a channel here on YouTube. If you don't follow her, I do recommend her. I love her. She does these like 5 looks 1 palette, and she could basically not get that many variations because a lot of the shades were so similar to each other. And if you look at this picture, I do believe that it is photographed with a flash. So some of the shade might look a little bit lighter than they would actually be, but I don't think that there's enough depth in these palettes. Now, if you love the color story, I get that. I get that everyone has different taste and everything, but for me and for a lot of people, I don't think that there's enough depth in these palettes, especially not if you want to cater to people with a deeper skin tone. I have some people here that has dark skin, and I always appreciate when they tell me their 2 cents on it. I know that a lot of people says that with deeper skin tones that this will look ashy on them, and that they don't really like a lot of those lighter shades on them because it will look ashy. So I don't think that this is going to cater to anyone with deep skin tone. So I do think that Urban Decay needs to work on their depth. They don't have to come out with a lot of colorful makeup because that is probably not the route that they're going through. But I do think that they need to do something with the depth. One thing I also noticed with this is that the 2 shades that are in the corner looks to be bigger than the actual other pans are. So they looks to have like a white, maybe that's a highlight shade, I don't really know. But they looks to have like a white and then a beige, and both of them seems to be a little bit bigger than the other ones. Nothing wrong with that, I just wanted to say it. I actually don't think I have anything else to talk about. It's been really slow, and I think it is just because of the fact that it's a new year. So I do believe that that is it for today's video. So let me know if you're excited about anything. I don't think I am. It's been a slow week, so I'm gonna end the video right here. I do hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give me a like. If you didn't like the video, you are free to thumbs the video down, just so I know. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.